Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Tuesday, the 21st of July. This week, I am up at Anglican Memorial Camp working with the teens. And instead of just doing teen camp this year, we're actually doing something different. We're doing a teen leadership camp, sort of giving the teens opportunities to learn how to be leaders, to learn how to lead worship and devotions, how to plan and institute games, crafts, things like that. And so one of the things we're doing is hopefully, if I'm of course recording this before I go up there, because I will be stinking busy all week long with the teens. One of the things we're hoping to do on Sunday, so 2 days ago, is for a town hall when the teens first get there, to sort of explain the week and what's going to happen. And my plan is to show a video of this general, a retired general from the American Army, who talks about leadership skills, and he talks about making your bed and how important it is to make your bed. And for tons of people, my husband included, making the bed is the lowest thing on his particular priority list. As a matter of fact, he gets disgruntled with me when I make the bed because it's the highest thing on my priority list. So while he's been gone for the last 2 weeks up at the camp, I have been making the bed every day. That will end when he comes back home, however. But this retired general talks about the importance of making your bed. That every day when we get up, we have decisions to make. We have priorities we have to set. We have to determine how we are going to do things. And we, as adults, we recognize there are many times when we make a decision or we have to do a task that we may not be able to do perfectly. We may find that we don't have the resources, we don't have the assistance, we don't have the time. We may not even have the brain capacity to be able to put everything we should into that task at hand. But if you think about your day and you think about sort of getting things started, we talk about getting out of bed on the wrong, getting up on the wrong side of the bed sort of indicates like, it's a phrase for saying that things are just going badly all day long. Well, how can we best set ourselves up to get out of bed on the right side of the bed? Well, one of the things he talks about is making your bed. If you make your bed, first of all, it is something that you can do. You know, even if you are paralyzed and you're in a wheelchair, you can still make your bed. It may take longer. It may be more difficult. You may want to ask for help, but there are ways to do that. Making our bed, it doesn't have to be perfect, but making your bed shows that you're starting your day. You have the intention of actually not going back to bed as soon as you've had that first cup of coffee. So making your bed is the beginning, the first good decision you can make to set up the whole rest of your day. It also indicates that you're planning for the future because it shows that you've prepared it to be ready for when you come back at the end of the day to get back into bed. It's prepared, it's smooth, it's clean, it's not chaos. It establishes what your goals are for the day. I am not doing his talk justice, but I'm hoping the kids will understand it. The thing is that if we start with one good decision, if we start with one task that we know we can do, then we have already started, and we do it, then we have already started our day on the right side of the bed. We have already done something to which we can give ourselves a pat in the back and say, see, you did it. Now, this might seem ridiculous, like making your bed. What a big deal. Who cares? But the fact is, there will be days in our lives when just simply being able to get that bed made and know that when we come back at the end of the day, we put that effort in for ourselves to do that will be powerful. Because there may be other people, other decisions, other factors that fill up the rest of our day that make it very, very difficult for us to get anything accomplished. But knowing that we were able to accomplish something sets us off on a good track. I don't know, but my husband would argue because he argues that, getting back into bed where he has a cocoon and all the blankets are exactly where he wants them, that's his idea of crawling back into bed at the end of the night. I get that. I understand that. This is making your bed is a metaphorical thing. For me, literally making my bed makes me feel good because I don't like living in chaos. Everywhere around me is chaos. Like my shelves are chaotic, but my desk is worse right now because as I record this, I am 2 days out from going to camp for a week, coming back for 1 week of work, and then off for a month. And there are 18 different projects I've got in the air that have to get tidied up or wrapped up at least so I can go on holidays in August. And so I don't like living in chaos. I don't like living with piles of work and post-it notes everywhere. And, it drives me nuts. Hence the post notes. Every time I'm done something, I can throw it out. It cleans up the space a bit more. But making the bed for me is an indication that I have conquered some of the chaos. That when I come home at night, my pillows are exactly where I need them to be. I know exactly where my pajamas are. I know where my slippers are. I know where my earplugs are. I know where my glass of water is. If nothing else goes right in my day, I know that when I come home and go to bed, that's all ready for me. And that's because I had the foresight first thing in the morning to set that up. I accomplished something. Sometimes our leadership, sometimes our sense of getting things accomplished can be pushed around like a gale force wind. But if we take the time to figure out a few little things in our lives that we can actually have control over, that helps us to have a sense of ownership and a sense of leadership in our own lives. And it also gives us a sense that we have, before we even leave our bedroom in the morning, we have already had an accomplishment. We have already had a success. And I don't know a leader out there who doesn't thrive on success. Our teens that we have at teen camp this week are, for the most part, kids that need to have some successes. Even the ones who are, brilliant scholars at school and, Ken and Barbie looking kids and, have all the best friends and involved in all the great activities at school, they're teenagers and they still suffer from all of the inner angst of being a teenager. They need to learn some skills about how to feel successful and little things that they can do. So, do I have hope that every morning these kids are going to get up and make their beds? Actually, I do, because it's part of their chores, and I'm going to encourage them to see that there's an important reason for this, that this is part of the leadership, that room inspection, the other camps, they have prizes for the best cabin. The prize is simply knowing where your socks are and knowing where your pillow is and knowing that at the end of a really busy day, you can just hit the hay and go to sleep and feel like you've accomplished something. We aren't trying to bribe the teens into leadership. We're trying to teach them how to be leaders. And that will begin with learning that they need to make their bed. Simple as that. What things do you need to do in your life to feel like you've had successes, or at least to start the day off on the right foot? For me, it's making my bed. And at teen camp, I have my own cabin, so I will make my bed regardless of what Rob does. Have a great day. God bless you, and I will see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachel.